Hey there, Alan here from Guernsey, Wyoming. And wasn't that inspiring? In these days, I think anything we can do that's inspiring is really cool. I was just listening to the radio, rewound radio, through the phone, turning my $1,000 phone into a $7 transistor radio, and listening to a Dan Ingram show from 1970 on WABC AM. I don't know, nostalgia, what can I tell you? But it's really cool. So this is going to be rvacrossamerica.net/Guernsey. That's Guernsey. All right, Guernsey, Guernsey. rvacrossamerica.net/Guernsey. Been here for about 2.5 weeks, and mixed feelings. Frustrated like everyone else. We've lost a lot of our freedoms, and the virus marches on. I've made major changes in my plans for the summer. I'm in a higher risk category. I don't know that I'm high risk, but I'm in higher risk. Many of you who know me know I had a heart attack about 1.25 years ago. I'm very much in very good shape. I'm very active. I bicycle here almost every day. I'm not doing it today because it's kind of cloudy and dreary and cool today. So the weather here kind of matches the national mood. I kayak every day. I'm out paddling about an hour a day now. And I feel good about it. Getting a little tanned. But, and I'm also convinced from some of the reading I've done that exercise lowers your risk for going into the severe stage of this virus that's going around. And that's really the thing to avoid. The severe stage is where people are running into lung damage and, of course, ultimately death. Neither of which seem to be very nice outcomes of this virus. So for me, having had a heart attack, having mild hypertension, I'm staying clear of people. I'm laying low. I go into a local grocery store here in Guernsey, and even the stores over in Wheatland and Torrington. The one here in Guernsey, if there's another car or two in the parking lot when I go there, that's it. And I'm not going there at 10 o'clock at night. I'm going there at 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. I want to get there while they still have toilet paper, while they still have meat, the things that we're all shopping for. I keep coming back in my mind to the Chris Martenson phrase, it didn't have to be this way. And for those of you who are following it, you know who I suspect is behind all this, allowed it to get out of their country. And here we are. It's really a shame. It really is. Why Guernsey? Well, it's a town of 1,100 people. It's a town that is in the middle of nowhere. It's not right next to an interstate. Doesn't get a whole lot of traffic through here. The county happens to have 0 recorded cases, but who knows why that really is. As I mentioned in my write-up, rvacrossamerica.net/Guernsey, again, Guernsey. This is a town that's great for bicycling. It's a relatively flat town. There are 2 water bodies right near it. Lake Guernsey State Park, and I'm going to have a post about Lake Guernsey State Park soon because it's really a phenomenal place. I mean, I'm getting more and more impressed with it every day I go in there. They do allow camping, although not right now. The state of Wyoming is one of the states that didn't go into a formal lockdown, although the governor here did lock things down or close things down. Things are beginning to open up again. If I wanted to, I could go for a haircut. It's been 3 months. But frankly, I'm inclined to just go on Amazon and buy one of those $30 hair cutting tools and see if it's any good. I figure it's less exposure. And if it works, hey, I'll save some money. It's almost the cost of a haircut anyway. Can I tell you? So, biking, kayaking, there's a little bit of history here. The Oregon Trail goes right next to town, literally a half a mile from where I am. And I went up there to check it out. They have the ruts. I've got photos of them, of the Oregon Trail where the wagons went through. I called a friend of mine who's a ski instructor over at Brundage. He's a little older than me, and I said, now I figured out how you got from where he's from, Austria, over into the United States, and then got out west, Oregon Trail. And he said, yeah, Lewis and Clark were personal friends of his. Anyway, it's awkward. It's awkward. In the last few weeks, we've had spectacular weather, and I've had some of the best days I've had in a long time. I feel good. I'm out biking. I think I'm losing weight. I'm kayaking, and like I say, I'm going for hikes. Met some of the locals here, nice people, laid back, friendly. But then, you get home and you read the reports on what's going on nationwide. I still have friends in Jersey, and I've been in touch with one of them pretty consistently, and it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary what's going on in Jersey and back in New York City. And there were days where I go into New York City, not too far away from the time I was listening to the Dan Ingram clip live in 1970, where I could go into the city with friends, and we'd go down to Washington Square Park and spend time in the Village and hit some of the little restaurants there, or in Little Italy, or in Chinatown. And all that's done for now. Hopefully, at some point, it's going to come back. But all I know is we got to get a handle on this. We got to get to the source of where it came from and deal with that. I don't want to get political on you, but those who know me know where I stand. But I've been keeping busy. I'm going to keep building up the website. I'm working with some new clients through my concierge RV buying and selling service. If you or anyone you know is looking for a camper and wants a guide by their side, wants somebody who's going to have their back and make sure they buy something good, I think I'm going to write a post soon that's going to be titled something like, "The RV sales industry makes the used car lots look clean." Something like that. Because that's how I feel about it. There's so many campers that are made so poorly, and people just go into this charging in with no idea. They're truly lambs being led to the slaughter, babes in the woods. So through my concierge service, I'm saving people money, and I'm getting them better campers. Just had one fella drive from Massachusetts. He's a sergeant in the Army, so he'll probably kill me if it's not good. But he went to Tennessee from Massachusetts and picked up a Van Lee Volano 320, a 2019, and we picked it up for him at a just unbelievable price. I mean, below low book, below low retail, which, again, for this economy right now, we did good. Anyway, I don't want to take up too much time. I'm going to put some more clips of driving through town and the area and show off a little bit of the state park. And again, I'm going to have a full post on that state park because it is just really cool. So anyway, Alan here. Stay. I'm going to have more stuff. Stay. For you to see. RVacrossamerica.net/Guernsey. GUERNSEY. All right? Thank you. Take care. Stay. So we're heading into Guernsey now, a town of 1,100 people. You'll see the sign marker on the right-hand side as we enter town. It's about 4,300 feet above sea level. You cross a bridge, I believe it's the Platte River, and you're in town. We're about to do that. When we get into town, there's just a few stores. Because they're attached with gas stations and such, those are open. There's a liquor store and a bowling alley. They're takeout only, at least in the case of the liquor store. Bowling alley, I've seen no real activity. Johnston's Corner is just up on the right here. It's a pretty popular gas station. It's got coffee and such inside. There's not much more to town as we come up here. We're coming up on the turnoff to Wyoming Ave that brings you down towards the campground. Little motel on the right here. There is a coffee shop, but the coffee shop has been closed. That's a little gas station, a little Exxon. And again, you can see how quiet it is. This is the middle of the day. There's really not a lot going on. Even though people have pretty much given up on the shelter in place, there's just not a lot of population base out here. The lunchbox is just up ahead. We're not going to pass that. That's on the east side of town. We're headed eastbound right now. Now we're turning. The hardware store is on the left. There's a laundromat just up ahead on the right. There's a post office on the right. And then beyond that, you come to a four-corner stop sign, and that's where the school is in town. Beyond the school, there's a ever so slight downhill that runs you past Camp Guernsey. Camp Guernsey will be on the left. It's all fenced off. That's coming up shortly. And as you pass by Camp Guernsey, you'll see that we'll be approaching another bridge, and then the campground and my site. And you'll see that I'm the only one in the site at the time that I shot this video. There's been a little bit more activity over the weekends. There's been some people. Here's the Four Corners. Here's the school on the right hand side. They've got a track on the left hand side. Camp Guernsey is just beyond this. And again, this is just about a half a mile stretch to run down to where the campground and the golf course are. And that's been home for the last few weeks. You can see how quiet things are again. It's great. This is an apartment complex, and just beyond that is what looks like a school building. It's actually operated by Camp Guernsey, so the military owns it. Again, on the left-hand side is all military property. We're now headed southbound out of town. This is the way towards Grey Rocks. Where you first came in, we were within a couple of minutes, literally, of the state park. And I'm going to give you a little bit of video of the state park in this video. I don't want this video to become too long, but I do want to kind of show you where I've been going and what this state park is like. And then, like I promised in my post at rvacrossamerica.net/Guernsey, you're going to get another post coming up soon, which is going to highlight the state park. There's a lot of camping in that state park. And I just found out that camping is going to reopen on May 15, but it's going to be only for Wyoming residents. So they're kind of tiptoeing back into this. That would be within the state park. We're now across the bridge. You can see the truck turning in front of me. That's a bypass that goes on the east side of town. They take a gravel road, so they're not driving those big heavy trucks all the way through town. Coming up on the maintenance building of the golf course, turning into the area where the maintenance building is. You can see my camper at the as one of the first sites. There are several sites beyond it. There's a little shower building beyond that. I've got water, I've got electric, and I've got a large black tank. So I'm going to make at least a month here before I have to dump that black tank. All right, we're home, and stick around. Glad you're still here. We're in Guernsey Lake State Park. Guernsey Lake State Park is a rugged place. We're about to cross a bridge that goes on the left is a dam, and on the right is the slide of the water coming off the dam. They're allowing some water out of it. You can actually walk up onto this bridge and get some great photos, and there are photos that I'm going to put into the next post that'll talk about Guernsey Lake State Park. The road here becomes quite winding. This is a mostly south to north road, and there are some camping areas that are at the southern end. I came in through the south entrance, but if you go too far beyond this point, there is a limitation of 45 feet to truck and trailer, which really means you can have just a 25-foot or so trailer. And the road is quite quite windy and rugged. There is also a north entrance to the park, and there are a couple of really nice camping areas up towards that northern entrance. That's something that if you had a larger camper and you were thinking about camping here at Guernsey Lake, you might want to take advantage of that north entrance. And I'll be talking again more about that in the post about Lake Guernsey State Park. What we're doing here is going through some of the S-turns. You'll see a couple of campgrounds and a couple of pullouts for day picnicking along the way. The water is obviously to the left. Nice big lake. It really is a big lake. A little green for this time of year, but it's not any kind of toxic algae. It's just got a little bit of algae in it. As we wind through here, we're headed towards a sorry about that. We're headed towards a cove, which is where I've been putting in. There is a main spot for putting in motorboats, and people could pull off there. We looks like we've passed that already. So we've got just a little bit more winding to go. And hey, I want to thank you for sticking around. This has been, you know, for me, this is a release. This is just kind of relaxation, sharing this kind of stuff. I think it's kind of neat. I love exploring new places, and even though I've been here for a few weeks, I'm still exploring more. I'm planning on heading over to Register Cliff. I'm planning on getting into the north end entrance to the park, and that'll take me on a different road that I've never been on before. And this is all good stuff, because if I ever come back here with a camper, with my trailer, certainly I'm going to need to know how to get in, because again, some of these curves, even just in the truck, I wouldn't want to meet another car coming the opposite direction, especially if I drive them the way I'd like to be driving them. Some of those tighter curves are coming up in just a moment. But this cove that we're headed towards is just a real nice quiet place. Got a couple of picnic tables, so it naturally has limitations on how many people are going to want to use this spot. And having now driven through more of the park myself, again, to show that off to you in the next post, there are several more coves that are just part of the natural geography of this park. But it's really a spectacular environment. It becomes increasingly rugged as you go further north into the park, and again, you'll see a lot of that when I shoot some video that will be used in the next post. But for this post, we're again headed towards the cove, and this is only a couple of minute drive from the entrance. I mean, we're talking 4 minutes maybe from the entrance. I didn't take you through the little kiosk that people pay at. We started the video just beyond the ranger station, which is you know, a pretty nondescript basic building. We're coming up towards the cove, and again, I want to thank you for visiting with me on this post. rvacrossamerica.net/Guernsey, Guernsey. This is a place that I've visited probably at this point half a dozen times in the last couple of weeks. There's also Gray Rocks Reservoir, so I've gotten an opportunity to put the kayak in down there. It might be more than half a dozen times, maybe it's 10 times now. Some pretty sharp curves here. Again, taking the trailer through, not sure I'd want to do that. And then here we are at the cove, coming down and in. But hey, take care.